Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'll be discussing Gather Round. So it's a video directly to Gather Round. And basically I'll be just discussing my thoughts on Gather Round, just to see my opinion, see if it was any good or not, see if I enjoyed all the games, and yeah, just my overall opinion on Gather Round. So what a success it was for South Australia, hosting all 9 games for the round in Adelaide. Massive success. Round 5, of course, of the AFL season was huge, and in the final game, it was announced that Gather Round will be held in South Australia for the next 3 years. How good is that for South Australia? Locking it in for the next 3 years, getting 4 seasons, so 4 rounds in total of South Australia, and what a first round it was in Gather Round. It was absolutely humongous. I feel like most people enjoyed all the games, and unfortunately, I couldn't get to go. I know a few people might have been wondering if I did get to go. I didn't go to any games this year. I'm hoping to go to a Gather Round, obviously in South Australia, in the next 3 years, hopefully. It's just by 2025 and 2026, I'll be in year 11 and 12, and you guys know how tricky that is. It'll be very, very hard that year to make YouTube videos, and yeah, look, I'll still try and post weekly videos of my predictions, of course, like I always do. I always enjoy that, and my Collingwood reviews, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah, Gather Round is just going to be such a great success. Yeah, I feel like Glenn McLaughlin was very, very happy to announce that in the final game of the round. Overall, it was a pretty interesting round. I'll discuss more about the games in general in my tipping video coming out tomorrow. But yeah, it was just a great success, really. The AFL has posted out things that they can improve on for Gather Round next season. And I definitely agree with a few things. One, Adelaide Oval, it definitely had too much games. 6 out of the 9 games were hosted at the Adelaide Oval. I feel like 5 maybe could be held at the Adelaide Oval. Obviously the Thursday night blockbuster, the Friday night blockbuster, 2 on Saturday, a twilight and a night blockbuster, and 1 on the Sunday. I feel like the Sunday games weren't as good for the Gather Round this year, even though they were close. I feel like the teams that they picked weren't the best, and I feel like Mount ground, the Adelaide Hills, it was a perfect ground, and same with Norwood. I'm not a massive fan of Norwood as much as Adelaide Hills, but I still think Norwood is a good ground to host. I reckon they should host 2 at Norwood next season, 2 at Adelaide Hills, and 1 at a other sandful ground. And yeah, look, it's going to be a great season, I reckon, for Gather Round, and it's just amazing. And also you got to start with a big game. Adelaide have to host, or Port Adelaide, they have to host the Thursday night game or the Saturday night game. And they always have to end with a big game as well. I would do like a predictions of who's going to be playing who next Gather Round, but I feel like I might do that more towards the end of this season, or I might do one maybe, or think about it and go over it. But yeah, I still thought it was a pretty great round. Obviously, there was a few games that weren't as big that turned out to be quite close and quite amazing. Obviously, both Norwood games were very, very entertaining to watch. And, of course, Collingwood St Kilda was quite entertaining. Port Adelaide Bulldogs was also pretty entertaining. If you're an Essendon fan, I'm sure you would have enjoyed the game against Melbourne. The Sydney-Richmond game was good for 3/4, but then it just started to drop off, really. The Adelaide game was, of course, a smashing. Same with the Geelong game, that was quite a big smashing, and of course you got the biggest smashing is Brisbane. But yeah, I thought I enjoyed most of the games. There was a few that were quite annoying because they were obviously not going to work being smashers, but it was still a great success. Gather Round is an amazing success. I really, really hope I can attend some games in future years for Gather Round. Hope you guys were able to go to Gather Round as well, and if not, I hope you enjoyed it on the big screen because it was a lot of fun to watch back in Melbourne. A little bit jealous, to be honest, that I didn't get to go, obviously. But yeah, still a great success and great content if you were a YouTuber going over to Gather Round. It was absolutely fantastic. I know heaps of people that were able to go to 8 to 9 games. It's very, very hard to go to all 9, obviously, because on the Sunday they're all scheduled over the top of each other, really. But still, it was a fantastic round, and yeah, I very, very much look forward to Gather Round. The big question is, who's going to be playing who next season, and also will there be a double header or 2 games on the Friday next season, and will it be during round 5 like for all seasons from now on? Will it always occur in round 5, or will it occur earlier, later? Who knows? But hopefully we do see something announced like that this year. But who knows, really? I mean, with the AFL fixture, you can't really know. But yeah, Gather Round is just absolutely fantastic. Massive success for South Australia. They'd be feeling absolutely pumped right now that they were able to secure that in and make it a massive success as well in the opening season. I feel like all the players, all the teams, I'm sure they're all pretty tired, but I'm sure they enjoyed the round as well. Especially the South Australian teams, they both got the job done against Carlton and Bulldogs, respectively, and I feel like they'd be pretty happy, the South Australian teams, with the round. And yeah, it was a fantastic round. Yeah, but yeah, the big thing is who's going to be playing who next season for Gather Round, and I wasn't a massive fan of the 2 games on a Friday. But I definitely was happier to have it because it was during the holidays. You just don't do that sort of thing. A 5 o'clock game back here, where in Victoria, or 8 o'clock game during school weeks, like you just wouldn't do that. So I don't know if that's going to be included next season or not. They probably will just move another game to Saturday for like a 7:25 game as well. But then again, you got the 2 games, and one might get more attention than the other game, and the other game might be a little bit of a downfall. Yeah, I'm not sure really what South Australia are going to do next season, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. They'll probably still do the 2 games on the Friday because it wasn't that bad really. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed Gather Round. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on Gather Round as well. Stay tuned for my tipping video tomorrow as well.